Lyndon LaRouche stated on December 24th that leading officials in Israel and Syria are ready for a peace agreement, but he warned that every time they have come close, something intervenes to destabilize the peace process. LaRouche advised to keep a close eye on the situation over the next few days for evidence of sabotage, especially coming from Saudi Arabia, a crucial arm of the British Empire in the Middle East. LaRouche issued this warning following an important breakthrough in the Turkey-mediated peace agreements between Israel and Syria, agreements that will determine the near-term survival of the region. 3 days later, on Saturday, December 27th, Israel launched an assault on Gaza, which is being called the largest single-day assault since the 1967 war. This attack came after a tenuous 6-month ceasefire was called off on December 19th between Hamas and Israel. As of Saturday, Hamas officials were reporting that 205 people were killed and 388 injured during the series of Israeli airstrikes targeting Hamas security forces across Gaza. Sources close to LaRouche PAC and EIR have warned that the December 27th attack is a strategic move by a faction in Israel which will destabilize the entire region, leaving the incoming U.S. Obama administration to choose sides. The source emphasized that the question now standing is whether Hamas will respond by starting a third intifada. Were that to occur, the prospects for an integrated Middle East peace would be sabotaged, and the foundations of the Turkish-mediated peace talks between Israel and Syria, talks which began openly in April 2008, would be lost. If the escalation coming from both sides continues through the next 24 hours, it will become more and more difficult to turn back. Already, Khaled Mashal, the Hamas representative in Damascus, issued a call for a third intifada, but that call has not yet met with a positive response from Hamas and others in the Arab community. That would change if the attacks from Israel continue, and the Israeli Defense Minister Ehud Barak stated during a press conference on Saturday that, quote, "There is a time for ceasefires and a time to fight. Now is a time to fight." End quote. LaRouche was emphatic in his response that it is in the urgent interest of all people in the Middle East that agreements between Israel and Syria be promptly established and extended to include Lebanon. Then the whole region must be brought together for peace and justice at last. LaRouche then asserted that if the Palestinians and Israelis go with this peace initiative, they will live. If they go against it, they will die, because the Saudis want them to die. Only days before the attacks, El-Pak TV reported on the breakthroughs reached in the Turkey-mediated Syria-Israel peace talks. During those talks, Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Olmert insisted that the two sides must advance toward direct peace talks as soon as possible, and that peace cannot be achieved through indirect talks only. Prime Minister Recep Tayyip Erdogan of Turkey responded that Syria's Bashar Assad had expressed similar sentiments for direct talks. At the same time, General Michel Aoun of the Lebanese Free Patriotic Movement called for direct peace talks between Israel and Lebanon, if Syria were at the same table. He stressed that he has full confidence in Syria's work on the negotiations for peace, and that the incoming U.S. Obama administration could play a key role in pushing the peace forward. LaRouche reiterated that the opportunity is available now, and what we want now is the Israeli-Syrian-Lebanon peace agreement, and the United States must take a position in fully backing this initiative. If that occurs, then justice for the Palestinians is implicitly already agreed upon. If the Palestinians and others don't accept that, then they must be assumed to be listening to another voice.